Alrighty, we are live. Decided to do a quick live tonight. Let me know if my microphone is. I don't know if it is working or not. I put in a little microphone like this, but I don't know if it's working or not. So if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. If not, I guess we'll find out soon if anyone jumps on. I'm going to just do a quick invite for anybody who wants to jump on stage with me. Go with that. Alrighty, well, I thought I'd just jump on quickly. I got the hat on, as you can see. I actually just started wearing this hat. It's very comfortable. It's actually one of the nicest hats I think I've ever got. All the hats I have, it fits very nicely, fits good. So I maybe wear this hat a lot more often than my other hats. Anyways, so it is February. It's February the 5th. This season, winter season, I should say, has been absolutely insane. It has been pretty crazy. Hello. If you can hear me, let me know in the comments because I'm trying a microphone out. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Just let me know. I want to know if you can hear me or not because I'm not sure if it's working or not. But anyways, I'll just head here. Alrighty. So anyways, this winter it's been quite warm. Apparently it's an El Nino winter. And we have had like hardly any snow. We had some snow at the start of the season, and then it got warm out, and then you can hear me good. Awesome, sounds good. Thanks, Justin. I'm just trying this mic here, so I didn't know if it was working. I tried to get it working, and it wasn't showing up on the screen when I did the test. So if you want to jump up on screen, let me know. I'm gonna put the link up here because I hate just talking to myself. But here we go. How's that firewood going for you, man? Yeah, so this winter's been absolutely crazy, man. It's been so warm. We've only had like 2 real snowfalls, and it hasn't been like anything after that. We had 1 cold snap, and then it was great though because we had that cold snap, and then we took our vacation that week and we went to Cuba. We came back, and it was absolutely warm again. So we've not had any real winter. We've been trying to go skiing a lot, and it's just the weather's been terrible. It's the hills are like absolutely terrible. Me and my wife went skiing the other day. You know, I like this weather too. I do and I don't because I like skiing, but it's just it's hard to get used to it that it's not a real winter. And I've looked at the forecast for the next week, and it's super warm. And I haven't told many people yet. But I guess if you watch the YouTube channel, if you've seen Justin, but we bought a property. We bought a property just down the road from us, 37 acres. So I'm going to try maple syrup this year. I put up tap lines the other day. I really should be trying to collect sap right now because I think the sap is ready from what I've heard from other people. It's running, but I don't know if I want to wait till the end of the season to start it. But if it stays warm, because we may not have a season anyways. So I'm just waiting for one more thing to show up for my maple syrup evaporator. I actually will have a video coming up soon on that as well. But yeah, I'm going to try maple syrup this year. The property that we got, I would have marked all the trees. I think there's like 60 trees that were tapped before. So right now, I'm only going to tap, I think I only got maybe 10 trees tapped. I've got one more line I need to run, but I don't have another connector that I need. So I'm going to hopefully get my wife to pick me up some more connectors on Thursday. I was going to go skiing with them, but I got an appointment to try and fix my head because we were skiing last Thursday and I took a really bad fall, fell backward and smacked my head, and I'm still not feeling right now. So I'm hoping to go to an appointment on Thursday to try and hopefully get me realigned and back on track. But yeah, it's been a crazy winter. I want to go skiing, but I'm just a little bit nervous to go right now because it still wasn't feeling 100% today. But yeah, so we've got that property. We bought a 4-wheeler for it, so I'm going to cutting wood there. A lot of the wood that I've been cutting though, that's fallen already, is kind of rotted, which isn't going to be good for burning hot fire for the sap. I'm also going to try and make a little firewood stand out front of the property on the highway and try and do like firewood, get firewood, but I need to find the bags to put the firewood in. I didn't want to buy like 100 of them, but I may have to because I think they just come like bundles of 100. So I'm going to try and do that too as well, but I need to find some better trees to sell for fire when it's not that crappy fire or that crappy wood because it's all punky and whatnot. So I'm hoping to go back out tomorrow and re-chainsaw some more. I had issues with the chainsaw. I don't know. I got issues with the chainsaw. Every time I go, I have problems. But I had 2 brand new blades that I had sharpened up nicely. Cut through this one log. Only did like 6 or 7 cuts, and my chain was dull. So I don't know if it hit something or whatnot. Put my next chain on. Did like 2 cuts, and that was dull. So I don't know if this is what I was cutting or whatnot. But I was so frustrated. So I'm out in the bush trying to sharpen the chain, but trying to sharpen the chain in the bush isn't easy. So I'm looking to get some clamps from a 4-wheeler that you can clamp on. Maybe hopefully I can get a chainsaw clamped in and I can sharpen it that way when I'm in the bush because it's kind of hard to do that, in the snow. So that's hopefully my plan. Tomorrow and the next couple of days, I'm hoping to get back out there again to try and get some more wood cut and hauled back to where I'm going to do maple syrup. And then I'm going to have to take the log splitter out as well because I have to cut all the wood up now because there's big logs and you need smaller logs for the maple syrup to burn a hot fire. So I've got to take the log splitter out there hopefully maybe Friday and do it. Actually, Friday got lots of stuff going on, so I might not be able to get out there Friday, but hopefully I can get out there. I'm just going to go cut a whole bunch of wood up and maybe just take the trailer out with me. I actually bought a small trailer for the 4-wheeler, not a big trailer, but I'm going to go and do that and get that all done. So saying that, I'm getting myself overloaded with a lot of stuff. Ooh, come on up here. Works.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? I don't think I can hear you. Hold on. Maybe my headphones are on. Let me try that. I don't hear anything.
You hear me now?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to take this mic off. Let's try that. Can you hear me still?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. I can hear you now. Yeah. So I think what happens is when I have my mic in, it's in headphone jack, so that I can't hear anybody. So I can hear you now. I think I'm just gonna put my That's better. There we go. I can hear you now. I think.
Yeah, I think my mic was muted or something.
Yeah, with this mic, when I put it in headphone jack, it acts as a headphone, so that I don't think I can actually hear anything when people are talking. So I had to take that out. So. Hey Ken, how you doing? I'm drinking lots of. I ordered a whole box. I got like 4 more boxes. Actually, I got this little pack of it right here. This looks great. I love this stuff. Yeah, I'm drinking it like crazy. So, yeah. So how's that firewood going for you?
It's going good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Selling lots. Can't keep up. People just want to keep buying all the time. I just do bulk orders. I don't do the bag orders really.
Okay.
I usually just do the bag orders for like smoker wood for pizza oven.
Okay. Yep.
But where I got my bags from is a place down in Kitchener.
Okay.
I'll have to send you the link. You can buy different quantities of bags, but what I found is when they sit in the sun for too long, like if your stand is at the end of the road and it sits in the sun, the sun UV will deteriorate the bag, and then when the customer goes to grab it, they'll end up breaking the bag.
Oh, is that like the green bags?
Yeah, they have different colors.
Yeah.
They got different colors.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was planning on getting like a skid and putting some sides on it and putting a roof on it just to keep all the rain off of it. But of course, I'm trying to find a skid, and whenever you're looking for a skid, you can never find one. You find them everywhere. So I do have a board that I was going to put on the ground, but I want something more solid that's going to keep the wood off the ground, especially when the snow's out.
Yeah, like maybe have it like 3 or 4 feet off the ground type thing.
Yeah. Nice. Where are you getting all your wood from? I remember you telling me you get it from somewhere, but I forget what you said.
I got 3 different tree companies that I get from.
Nice.
I pay them a little bit of money, and they load my dump trailer full with an excavator.
Yeah. And then do you have to split it, or is it already?
Yeah, I got a 40-ton Princess Auto splitter.
Nice.
And then I got three big saws that I use. I got the 500i with a 25-inch bar, and I got a Husqvarna ported 592 that's 92 cc's. Because some of these rounds that I'm getting are like 30, 40 inches in diameter. They're huge. Yeah.
Wow. Nice. Well, my cousin's husband, he's got a sawmill, and he lives really close to my property. So I want to. He goes to me the other day. Oh, so there's a lot of good lumber out there. I'm like, yeah, there's lots of trees there. So I would love to try and cut a couple down, try and haul them out, and see if you can like lumber them up for me. Maybe for this, I can make like some size for the maple syrup shack or whatever. Or I was even thinking about maybe using that wood to make some shelves for my house or whatever, just to have something nice for the property or whatever. But it's the time trying to find it to do all this stuff.
Of course. And now lawn care season is going to be around the freaking corner, so
it is.
We're going to be busy again.
Yeah. Well, that's what my wife said to me. She's like, "Well, are you going to have time to do maple syrup?" Because she actually booked a trip for us to go down to the Poconos down in Pennsylvania to the Great Wolf Lodge down there. So we're doing that over March break. And that's usually like when sap season is around that time. So I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, like right now, I'm just working on my spring letters, trying to get all my prices done and getting all that form ready so I can go and send it out. Plus, I'm incorporating this year. So I just talked to my bookkeeper accountant today, and I think we're just starting the process of that now. So that's going to be a little bit of work to do that as well. So it's gonna be a busy season. Plus, I put an ad out the other day on Indeed, and actually had like 5 or 6 people actually apply to it. So I'm going to try and set some interviews up for next Monday because I need employees to get this work. And if I don't have employees, I can't take this work on. So as of right now, I know I've got two coming back, but I need at least another 4. So it's a little nerve wracking, but every season it's like this. It's just like it's go time and. I always say I'm gonna do stuff early, and I've just been slacking so bad this year. I've just been in like just stop mode, don't do anything, which is bad.
Yeah.
So,
it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying. I think for next winter, I put on my spring ladder that I'm gonna try and see if we can upsell some indoor painting for like the fall time. So once we're done the fall cleanups, I can keep going for at least another month or so just to get some extra work in, so I'm not sitting around being bored. Because honestly, as soon as I stop working, my brain just shuts off. It doesn't think about business, and it's just like to try and get back into it is impossible.
Yeah.
So,
well, if you get into doing firewood and you got any campgrounds that are close by, you'll be selling out like crazy.
Yeah. Well, we've got both like provincial park here, and then we've got our park here. But I mean, my wife's got all the wood that we cut down like a ton of trees in fall time, so we've got lots of wood here for them. But a lot of people have the little the camp firewood huts all over the place. So I'm that's my plan to try and put one up and just make it. I know I'm not gonna make much money from it, but it's just something to do and maybe hopefully do something just to pay for something out of it, right? And then I don't know. Every time I have these ideas, it never works. Nobody ever comes and buys my stuff or does anything for us. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, if it's up there, it just gives more people an option to have it, right? And the one lake or the one in the cottage road for our lake is like literally across the road from me, pretty much. So I mean, it'd be nice and close if any of the cottages want to camp firewood too, right? So.
Yeah, I got one guy. He buys a pickup truck load every month, a month and a half. Of just like he goes, I don't care what you give me. He just wants to burn outside all year round. It's freaking crazy. Yeah, so I give him all the pine and the cedar that these guys dump in my driveway, right? So.
So is that what you're doing now? Or are you just doing the firewood, or are you still doing the lawns?
No, I'm gonna still do lawns. Not gonna take on as much, and ramp up with the firewood.
Nice. So the firewood's really taking off, eh?
Yeah, like I'm to the point where I want to buy a processor.
Wow. Have you been advertising for it, or has it just been word of mouth?
Both. A little bit of both. Like mostly Facebook.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then are you I guess you're delivering it to the people?
Yeah, like if they want delivery, then they gotta pay for it.
Yeah, oh for sure. How far will you deliver it?
Furthest I go is probably like an hour
Oh
away from
wow, that
home.
far, eh?
Yeah, but they're paying
Wow.
me for the fuel
Yeah,
and my time to go there and whatnot.
yeah, nice. It blows my mind just to think that you can make a business just out of firewood, eh? It's
Oh, it's
that
crazy.
easy.
It's
Huh.
crazy. Like there's a guy that's probably, yeah, he's about 15 minutes up the road. So when you come up the road, like it's a busy two way. It's like basically like a, he's in the country, but he's on a busy main road,
Okay.
and he's just got cones of firewood from as far as you can see, like over 150 feet from the roadway all the way up to his house.
Wow.
And they're probably, I don't even know how, like they're huge. Like, yeah, they're probably 10, at least 10 full cords in each one.
Wow.
It's friggin' crazy, and that's all he does is sell firewood,
That's insane.
and it just sits there and dries in these big metal cones that he just picks up with a tractor.
Huh. Are you what was I gonna ask? I forget what I was gonna ask now. Wait, so but you're putting that firewood into your trailer. Do you have like a conveyor belt to load it in for you, or using like a bucket loader, or?
All by hand right now.
No.
Yeah,
Oh man.
yeah.
Uh,
That's and I've gained customers from having clean wood.
okay.
Because these guys that process wood in the country, they dump it on the ground and then they just scoop it back up with their skid steer or front end loader or whatever they got, and
Yeah.
it ends up being that like these 4 houses I delivered in Woodbridge, they had 8 wheelbarrows each of mud and bark and
Oh.
sawdust, so they won't buy from him anymore.
Yeah.
So it's bad for business.
Wow.
But
That's
I'm in the
not good.
market. I'm hemming and hawing. I'm really wanting a Mini X.
Uh,
Speed up the
yeah.
process, or even maybe get into maybe getting a conveyor just to convey it into the dry wood into the trailer.
Yeah. I found these guys on YouTube. I think that's all they do too. They cut wood. It's this girl and guy. Like I forget their name. I can probably find it, but it's always got the thumbnails are always the girl in like really tight pants, just the big chainsaw. I can't remember, but
Oh
they're
yeah, they're in Florida.
is that okay?
And they got a processor.
Yeah, the thing that I saw, they're actually it lifts the logs up for them. It's crazy, and it just slides it on.
Yeah, that's a
I found,
processor. So they
yeah.
load the log onto the deck, and then it feeds it and then cuts it with a chainsaw, and then it drops into a trough. Yeah, I've been looking at them. They're not cheap.
Nice. No, I bet they're not. But you know what? It's funny. Like I'm in the mindset for a long time now. Like I don't care the cost of the equipment. I'll just buy it if it makes my job easier and saves my body. Because
Oh
in the long run, it'll pay off. But yeah, you gotta make sure you're able to pay for it and then make it worthwhile. But if you're doing that much good, man, it might be worthwhile just to go buy it.
yeah.
How much are
They depending on which one you get, they start at like 150 and go all the way up to 400.
they? Really, that much?
Yeah,
Wow,
1,000.
that's crazy.
Yeah, like there's Easton Made. They make everything from a processor to wood splitters. They're up in Perth,
Okay.
and I think he's just making a small one that's going to cost like around 150-ish with a conveyor.
Wow.
So it would
So
be an
if you
investment, but
yeah. So if you need money, so have you heard of the BDC?
yeah.
So I needed money to buy that property, so I applied to get a loan from them. You can get loans up to $100,000. So I applied and actually got the loan. That's how I ended up getting some extra money to buy the property because with vacant land, you have to pay cash for it. You can't get a mortgage for it.
No, I know.
So I didn't know that. So we were looking at. So we ended up having our savings and use that money to buy the property. But if you need some money for business, look at the BDC, man. They'll give it to you. The only bad thing is it's like, I don't know, it's a pretty high interest rate.
I was gonna say the interest rate must be like
So,
double a mortgage or something.
not really. So I got $100,000 loan for me, and the interest after you have to have it paid off in 5 years, but they have a payment plan. So after 5 years, it's gonna be like 30 grand of interest, which kills me. But that's the way I could get it. And then for the first 6 months, you can't pay any principal off. It's all interest. Then after that, you can start paying the principal and interest, which I hate that. Everything I do is debt free, but the only way I could do this is by doing that. So it sucks. But as well, you're allowed to pay off, I think, 2 extra payments a year off, which is nice. So if I can save some extra money up, I'll be able to pay off 2 extra payments, which will speed it up a little bit. Or if you have enough money, you can pay the loan right off. So say you won the lottery, or somebody died or whatever, you came in like $100,000, you can just pay it off right then and there, which is nice. But I know that's not going to be my situation. But I mean, it's nice to know I didn't even know about that loan, and then honestly, like the line I wrote in it was a two sentence line, and I'm like, I'm never going to get this because every time I try to apply for grants or whatever, I never get it. I got it. I'm like, that was crazy. So I mean, at least I know once it's paid off, if I need more, I can go back to them and reapply for something else. Because my plan is to build a garage on the property as well. So if I need money for that, I mean, I can go and apply for another loan, hopefully, and get some money to build a garage or whatever I need for the equipment, right? So
interesting.
But yeah, but I'll send you the link after, and I'll send you because it's pretty easy. You just have to answer the questions and tell them what you plan to do with the money. And like I said, you can pick anywhere from I think $10,000 all up to $100,000, and then you just weigh around and they'll reply to you if you get it or not. And if you have any more questions, you have to answer them. But it's pretty simple. Like I swear I wasn't gonna get it, but I got it, so it's pretty sweet. But that's a good way to be able to not use any of your money and then still be able to buy something, right? Because that $100,000 that could buy you the machine, and then at least now you have the machine. Now you can make money with it, right?
Yeah, because one of those mini X's, they're like a Toro Dingo. They range from like 48 to 50,000 to start with, and then it depends on attachments and depending on lifting capacities and all this. Because I was gonna share it with a tree guy too, like help him, like let him take it when he needs it to do big jobs when I don't need it, type thing too, right?
Could you rent it out if you didn't need it? And maybe rent it out. The only thing
that's
is
the thing, right?
Also liability.
Do you really want to rent out a piece of equipment and then somebody say, "Here you go, it's fucking broken now," and now you got to go drop it off at the dealer? Money doing that. I don't know.
Yeah. See, I thought about buying some equipment, just stuff that I want myself, and if I'm not using it, rent it out. But then I'm thinking, well, but then I have the insurance to rent it out, and if it breaks down, I gotta fix it and all this stuff. I don't know. It's a good idea, but it's just kind of a hassle, right? So
yeah, like I was thinking of renting out my splitter when I don't need it, but it's like, when do I not need it?
You need it all the time.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Wow. It's awesome to hear that you're like killing in that business. Like, it didn't take long for you to get going fast on it either. So it's awesome.
No, I think there's a lot because I'm so rural that like Caledon and Palgrave area and all these other areas that people burn wood in their houses for supplementary heat just to turn down their natural gas bill, right?
Yeah.
So I kept seeing on Marketplace, free wood. I still see it all the time. I was just searching before you went live. Free wood. People pay a guy to cut down the tree. They'll cut it into whatever length, and they'll just leave it dropped at the curb. Yeah. And then I drive by and scoop it up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, it's good for you because it's free, and then you're making more money from free wood, right? So it's good. Nice.
Yeah, like I pay these tree guys, what, fill my dump trailer full of like 19 logs, $200, and then I make like $5,000-6,000 off of it.
Wow. So those tree guys, because like around up here, we got a lot of tree guys too. Like, so those big logs, do they not take them? They just leave them on the property, or like, how does that work for those tree guys?
Well, if you approach them and say, "I'll take all your wood. Here's my address. Come dump it." They'll go dump it for free.
Cool. Wow.
Like there's a lot of them, but you're gonna get big nasty pine. You're gonna get big nasty cedar. You're gonna get big crotch pieces that weigh like 400 or 500 pounds. You have to chop them up with a chainsaw first before you can split them.
Yeah.
But if it's free, it's free, right? Who cares?
Yeah. So what kind of wood are you like that you want to sell? Like, if you're getting all that kind of wood, is there a certain kind of wood that people want, or will they take anything usually?
I try and stay away from Manitoba maple.
Oh yeah. We actually just cut one down here in the park at Split and cut her down. That's nasty wood.
Yeah, like it's only good for campfire wood. Like it's probably the same from what I've researched. I think it's the same BTUs as like red pine and white pine.
Wow.
So, and it takes forever to dry.
I
think it takes a good 6-8 months once it's freshly cut to season.
Wow.
No, like in my hardwood mix, I'm advertising as I'm getting a lot of ash from these guys. Red oak, white oak, black locust. I bought from a guy. That's like the hardest wood we have here in Ontario.
Wow.
Yeah, like Norway maples, beech, some cherry.
Nice.
Well, a guy called me the other day, and he just wanted me to separate all the black locusts because that's all he wanted. And then he's like, "Oh, well, it's probably not seasoned enough for me." I'm like, "Okay, if you say so."
That's crazy. We had a couple ironwood sticking down the park here. I never heard of ironwood before. I don't know my tree types, but anyways, I had a chainsaw there trying to cut it, man. That stuff is impossible to cut through, man. It just dulls your blades so fast.
Yeah.
And the tree I was hitting, it wasn't very big. It was only like maybe that big. I couldn't get through it hardly. I went sharpening my chain a couple times and still couldn't get through it. It was terrible. I hated it.
Yeah, it's pretty hard wood.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's equivalent to, I think it's like a off species of like sugar, like the sugar maples.
Okay.
So it's pretty hard wood.
Yeah. Do you have
sugar maple's hard to get too.
Yeah. Do you have any of those hawthorns down in your area?
The which?
The hawthorns?
No.
No, oh man, they got those like sharp pointy things on. Apparently, I think my mom told me years ago that they're trying to get rid of them because they're just, I think either they're invasive or they're just hard, and if you touch them, like, they prick you bad. So we've had some around the park here, but they're hardwood too. It's hard to cut through them. And trying, like, I just have customers.
They're like a weed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we have buckthorn.
Okay.
That's similar to those, but
yeah.
They burn hot, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I just hate them, man. They're like, I've got customers who wanted me to haul brush for me before, and they got the hawthorns in there, and if you don't pick up the right spot and you get in your head, oh man, it's just like a knife cutting through your freaking hands.
Yeah, that's like when the black locust is alive. It has actual thorns that are probably bigger than my pinky, and they're like 8 inches long.
Huh.
A lot of guys don't like them on their property because they puncture your tires when they drop those thorns.
I'm looking at that tree up right now because I have no clue what that even looks like. Oh, interesting. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Those hawthorns are the same. They're oh, you know what? That might be the hawthorn. We call them hawthorns, but maybe that looks like exactly what we have here too. Maybe that's what it is. But all the ones that I see are very small. They're not very big.
Oh no, some of the, like, I got black locusts in my property right now. They're 20 28.5 inches in diameter. They're huge trees.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. You see, I need to start learning my tree types because when I went out to the property, like the guy had all the taps of trees, but before we bought it, he took all the taps out. So, oh crap, man. So I bought some the marking tape here. So I went around looking for all the trees with the holes in and marked them all so I knew which were the sugar maples.
You usually got to re-drill them.
Yeah, no, you have to re-drill it, yeah, for this year, but like I didn't know which are maples or sugar maples or not, so that's why I did that. So now I know I've got them all marked out now, so I'm fine for that. I'll just leave the tape on there, but I have no clue what sugar maples are. I just don't know the tree types, so I just have to I gotta start learning stuff like that.
Yeah, sugar maple's also hard to cut to cut through when we had that cold spell. It's like cutting through a rock.
I wonder if that's that tree that I was trying to cut through then that was just made my saw completely dull because it had been falling over for a while, but it was a hard wood, I think, because I could not get through the chainsaw very well. Maybe that's what that was. I don't know.
Yeah, could just be your teeth. Maybe they're at they're all different angles.
Yeah.
I just use a Dremel now with a die grinder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like every 2 tanks, I'll sharpen my chain.
See, I've got the little thing you push through with the round pedal and the flat pedal on it, but I'm not very good with chainsaw, man. Every time I go use the chainsaw, something is wrong with it, or I can't sharpen the chain properly, or just something just goes wrong. So I just get so frustrated. Like I said, the other day I went out to cut a log of wood. I was out there for like 15 minutes, and I was so frustrated. So I'm like, oh, it never fails.
Yeah. Stihl just came out. Well, I think it's been out for a long time in across the pond there, but I think they just came out with a hexa chain now, so it actually cuts faster and it's easier to sharpen than any other chain.
Oh, really?
Because with the round file, you can put it in and you can wiggle it which way to make your 25-degree off center. This one is an actual hexagon shape, and it only fits in the tooth that way.
Oh, okay. Do you need another bar for that, or can it fit on a regular bar?
No, you just need the special file.
Okay.
I
should look into that.
Maybe one of your Stihl dealers would have one of those.
Yeah.
But it's a combination of the square grind and the half round grind. It's like a combination, so it actually cuts way faster. Especially if you're cutting really hard wood, it cuts way faster from what I've researched.
Interesting. Well, next time I'm in town, I'm going to go and take a look, see if I can find one, because, I don't know, I'd love to find something that cuts better. Like I said, I had those two chains sharpened up. It cost me like $40-$50, and they're dull within.
Wow.
Fast. I
the guy up the road only charges me $10.
Oh, really? Well, I went to the Stihl dealer, so that's probably why I'm going to the dealer to do it.
Yeah, probably.
And I can sharpen it to a certain point, but then after a while, after we keep sharpening it, I can't get it sharp anymore. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's an art when you're using a round file, and
yeah,
that's why I just got the Dremel and just did it that way. You just go to Canadian Tire and buy those little bits for $10. You buy 3 of them. Just sharpen the chain in 2 minutes. 25-inch bar or 28-inch bar. 2-3 minutes, you're done.
Huh? I should look into that because I've got a Dremel downstairs, so I should look into that.
Yeah, they have the Oregon bits.
Okay.
They're probably locked up, and
okay.
You buy different ones for whatever chain you're using. Like I got 732. That's all my chains, but you can probably buy 532 and whatnot too.
Yeah, interesting. That'd be way faster to do it because I hate going like this. It's like
using that stupid round file. Yeah, you can do it, but it takes forever, and it's an art because if you get your angle off one by a couple of degrees, then all your teeth are not going to cut properly.
Well, and I think that's what I do. I don't think I get on the right angle. Like when I look at that bar, it's got the little lines on it, so I try and match up with the lines because I think that's what you're supposed to do. But I'm never on. But I just resharpened them both by hand. So when I'm hoping to go back out tomorrow, so I'm gonna see if I did it proper or not. I'll find out pretty fast if it's working or not. So, oh, oh man, do you guys have any snow down there? Or is it all melted?
It's all melted. There's a little bit of ice here and there from just overnight temperatures being around freezing.
Yeah,
But you can see the grass again.
that's crazy.
We had that one snow/rainfall.
Yeah.
I didn't get home in time. And the driveways ended up at the bottom of the driveway after the plow came by, all froze. So I just said, "Meh, I got a big truck. I don't care."
Yeah, that's what we do for our lane right here. We're like half the time, like we don't even bother because we all have 4-wheel drive, like whatever, we'll just plow through it. But now I've got a 4-wheeler. I bought a plow for the 4-wheeler, so it's so much more easier and faster than using that stupid snow blower. So that snow blower, I'm not even gonna touch anymore unless it's really deep and I can't get through the plow. But I mean, like this year, like I spent money to buy a plow. We didn't need it.
No.
So,
well, that's why
I
was trying to tell the wife. I'm like, well, if I get a mini X, a Toro Dingo or something, then I can use it to do the driveways too, and
yeah.
maybe help out the neighbors do their driveways instead of let them do it with their snowblowers or whatever.
Yeah. Next, so I asked my insurance about because I actually haven't had hardly any calls for snowplow this year. Last year I had tons, but I refuse to do it just because they're so far and few between, and the insurance is expensive. So that's my insurance when I bought the 4-wheeler. Well, I got a plow for it. Like, how much would insurance be for me for my business? She's like, we don't even offer that at service anymore. Like, I don't think she would even look into getting insurance because it's so expensive now. So I'm like, all right, that's fine. I don't really want to do it either. And then for me, I have to trailer my 4-wheeler to places too. So that's even a hassle to do that. But it's just like,
yeah, like I wouldn't advertise like I'll come do your driveway. I would just do just the neighbors' driveways or whatever.
Yeah. Unfortunately for me, we live on the highway, and like all my neighbors, I think they all have plows anyways on their trucks. So, yeah, I don't know, just snow plowing. Everyone always asks me, well, you should do snow plowing, man. You can have a good bit of business. So like, I don't want to do it. And then my cousin's husband, they own a farm, and he didn't want to do the snow plowing either. But they ended up buying a guy's business that was getting out of it, and he got a ton of contracts from it. But the reason he did it was because he wanted to buy a tractor for his farm, and the only way to pay for it was to do snow plowing. So, but he hates it. He hates doing it.
Of course, you gotta go out in the middle of the night and clear these people's driveways or these businesses. So, and then salt them. And I'm like, no, I don't want that headache.
No, like I always think, okay, I want to do it now just because I want some work in the wintertime. And then like, I can't be bothered, man. And then if the insurance really is like, so the one guy in the Facebook group, he's from Niagara Falls. I talked to him every now and then. He said he has to go $20,000 for insurance for snow. Like,
yeah, that's what I was.
You wouldn't make any money off that. You would need a huge contracts to make any money.
Anybody who I've talked, landscapers around here that you see plows on their trucks, they said you need at least 8 to 10 factories, non-tolerant factories, that just to pay for your insurance.
Yeah.
And then if something happens, then you're.
Yeah. Well, the one guy I know here, he did a lot of work here at Show Park for repairs, but he does snow plowing. He does some residentials. I think he's trying to get out of the residentials, but he said he's got a lot of the city lots he does. He said if it was for the city lots, he wouldn't make any money doing it.
Of course.
So, yeah.
I see now pool. There's a local pool company. They're just using F-150s to plow people's driveways around here. I'm like, okay, but then they don't. From what one or two of my customers hired them because they know I don't do it. They hired them, and then they come like 2 days after the storm. So they're very unreliable. So
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. I don't know, they're probably like, crap, man, we don't want to go do the snow.
Yeah. Or they're too busy.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I always hear people getting like my cousin's husband used to tell me people want you there for a certain time or time of day or whatever, but you have a big route. It's like you just go, and the more snow there is, the longer it takes the guys to plow the driveways. So yeah, I always think it'd be great to do that to make some extra money for the winter time, but it's not even worth the hassle. So that's why I want to try to do some indoor painting, try and sell that this year, and just try and get a little bit of that. Like my buddy, I don't know if you know me, Tom Wolf. He's a part of the Facebook group, but he's over in Peterborough, and he does indoor painting for the wintertime. So he does pretty good at that.
I've heard that. I think I've heard the name before, but
yeah, he's Wolf Lawn Care. He's a pretty cool guy. He's I think this is his second or third year in business. He just basically started doing it part time and just went full time. He's like killing it. He's got a ton of customers now. So, but yeah, he does indoor painting for the winter time. I guess what you would do is if people would say, "Do you snowplow?" I say, "No, but I do indoor painting." And that's how you started getting all this indoor painting jobs, just by saying that I do that. Which I need to start doing that, because I mean maybe people will have to hire me for that instead. But yeah, I need to start upselling that job for the wintertime, because I get really bored in the wintertime just sitting around doing not much.
yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Firewood keeps me pretty busy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, say that. I mean, I am busy. I mean, I sit down trying to get work done, but it's just like it's stuff I don't want to do. It's like all the office stuff, and I just hate doing office work. It's
Yeah,
just not my thing.
you better just have a secretary.
Well, I honestly keep thinking about that. I've been thinking about doing like a VA, a virtual assistant, or maybe hire somebody to come in once a week just to, do emails or stuff. I don't know how that would work. Is then you gotta train them, and you only come in for 1 day a week. It's not really. I don't know. In my mind, it's just mind blocking. To me, it doesn't seem feasible. But if they did all that work for me, then I could come home. I wouldn't have to worry about invoicing or all this other stuff, right? So it's just trying to Actually, there's a book I read. Actually, group I'm part of, they sent it to me. Where is it? I think it's over there. I don't know where, but it's called Buy Back Your Time. And he basically just says, start from the bottom. When you first start a business, start from the bottom, hire an office manager, and just work your way up to get all this task off your job, so you can focus on getting more jobs coming in and whatnot, right? And that's my plan last year, to not work as much. But then I hired that second crew, and I had to go out with them because they don't know how to do the work. So I was out there doing all the work with them, and I was hoping just to stay at home maybe 1 or 2 days a week to go do quotes and maybe just not do too much physical work. But that didn't happen. I was out every single day doing work and trying to keep up with it and showing people how to do the job. So
that's why I don't want employees, because I wouldn't be able to handle the headache.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have another person with me to do these bigger properties, but
yeah. Well, just hire somebody full time just to cut wood for you, and they can go the trailer and drive it around.
Yeah. Not everybody can back up a trailer, you know that.
No, I know that. And that's my worry. I've only the girl I've had the last 4 years. She's come back again. She's the only one who knows how to drive a freight truck and trailer besides me. So if she needs a day off, I have to go cut lawns and try and send somebody else with that other crew to do the other work. So I'm trying to hire somebody this year that can drive a truck and trailer as well. I actually have another guy come back, so I'm going to ask him if I can teach him how to drive a truck and trailer, because I need at least 2 people on the crew to drive a truck and trailer, so if one of them is sick, that the other can take over and do for that day, so I don't have to jump on, because it really throws a friggin' loop in the day if that happens, right? So.
Yep. That was like this one driveway that I had to go deliver 15 minutes from the house in the country. It was like a 40-degree angle going up, and you had to go up, back up and curve around all these shrubs and trees and everything. It was a freaking pain in the ass.
It's funny.
With a fully loaded dump trailer, I had to put my truck in 4-wheel drive just to get it up the hill.
Yeah. That's what Amanda said to me last year. She goes to me, now, when you look at these jobs, did you think if you get back into these places or not? I'm like, I did. I'm like, I never was going to be backing them up, and I knew you're going to have a problem backing it up as well. But she's just looking, she's like, there's not getting more jobs that we have to back a trailer up in these stupid angles and hard places to get to you. I'm like, I'm going to try to, but I mean, if it's a good job and they call me, I can't say no. So this one job, it's a bugger, man. It's just every other week long. I hate it myself. The grass doesn't grow. It's a cottage rental. The grass does not grow. Every time we go there, it doesn't look like it's growing. It's bi-weekly lawn. We have to back down this big long driveway, and then their driveway cuts this way, and then the other cottage driveway keeps going straight. But we can't get the trailer in there because there's the bushes on the other side, and we will ditch the truck and we can't get in. So we park there. But every time we go to cut the lawn, the neighbor has to get out. He has to get out. He gets so angry. He was yelling at me last year. Well, I need to get out. I've got a third report hospital business I have to get to every week this time, blah, blah, blah. Every week, man. So you don't have to jump the truck, drive all the way back down the highway and back all the way back in, right? It's such a hassle. So that's the job she told me. Can you just get rid of it for next year? Because it's such a hassle. So I don't know. I may, and like the owner actually emailed me about it and talking about it. But I'm like, I can't do anything about it. Like every time, it never fails. It doesn't matter what day of the week, what hour. I guarantee you'll back go there, and you have to get out as soon as we get in. So it's a lose-lose situation for us. Like I don't know what to do about that job. I may just tell her I don't want to do it because it is bi-weekly. It's like the guys hate doing it. Like I said, we go there, you can't tell the grass has been cut. Like it doesn't grow at all. So I don't know. That's just a job we hate doing, and I hate backing in there, and she hates backing in there, and then just. Yeah, it just never fails. Every week, or every time we go there, there's an issue. So.
Yeah, I'd drop them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
There's a bunch of people I want to drop. I just I can't bring it around to myself to drop them because it's money. It's extra money, right? But I don't know.
Well, I dropped the ones that were low paying and were like a 25-minute drive away, and I'm like, I'm not making any money. I dropped them halfway through the season last year, and I said, this is your new price. Take it or leave it. You got to pay me this much money for the rest of the season. Take it or leave it.
Yep.
I'm doing full season pop now. You either pay me for the full season, or I'm not cutting your lawn. Never mind me chasing you for 3 months, 4 months of grass cutting.
Yeah.
Because it feels like I'm getting ripped off.
Oh yeah, it does. I got this one lady. The lawn came with my business. It's a pretty big size lawn. When I first got there, I think the guy was charging her $75. Already it was too low. So I finally started upping her price 3 years ago. So I put up to $80. And she's like, oh man, well, it's $5. Like, so she paid it. Next year I put up to $85, right? She didn't respond to me. It took her forever, so I emailed her about it. She's like, well, it's a lot of money. Like you put up $5 the year before, but I put my rates up for everybody every year, right? So then last year I put up another $5 to $90, or was it 95? I can't remember, 95, right? So she didn't respond again. She's like, finally I emailed her back just because I want to make sure I know who's on the list because I don't want to. I got the schedule made up. She's like, no, that's a lot of money. After taxes, like over $100. I'm like, yeah, it is. I'm like, if I came in here now, I'll be starting at $100 to start your lawn, right? So then this year, I'll put it up to $95. I think it's $95 I'll put it up to this year. And I know she's going to do hog and hog again. I'm like, anybody else that's going to come in here is going to charge you way more than me. So you either try and go. I don't know. It's pretty big. It's got one area where it's got like this big grassy area. I think it's this. Oh no, the septic's around back. So it's got this whole big area up front. Then around back, it's got another like small section for like a little play area. Then behind that, there's another huge area where it's the septic tank and whatnot. And it's a pretty big area. So it's a pretty big lawn. I think with 3 or 4 of us, it takes about 15, 20 minutes. And she's bi-weekly. And she always complains that her lawn looks like crap because her grass grows really long. And then she complains that we don't cut it very well. Well, I told her in an email last year, if you want it, it has to be cut every week for it to be cut proper. I'm like, she's like, we need to go slow. I'm like, we go slow. I can't go any slower on it, otherwise I won't be moving. So I'm like, I'm not double cutting it. If you want me to double cut, I will. I'm going to charge you the double cut price for it, right? So I can't wait to see her email or wait to see her response this year because I'm pretty sure she's going to drop me this year because it's going to be $95 plus the tax, which I don't care, man. Like, and it's in Falmouth, so it's like a good 20 minutes away from my house. So by the time the guys get to her place doing the route, I mean, I got paid for that drive time, right?
Yep.
So that one, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get complaints about a game this year. And then last year, I had a guy. We call him. Actually, I don't want to say anything. It's just I don't know if he watches the channel. I don't think he does, but just in case. Um, he didn't let me upping my price. I raised it, and he's like, oh, what do I want to do you? You know, it's like blah blah blah. I'm like, no, I'm like, if you don't want to be this price, I'm more than happy to go find somebody else. You can find somebody else who will do it for cheaper. So you fly here, and then he wants us to get it on Thursdays. So last year we couldn't do Thursday because he called me. He called me the day before to start. So we started doing it on Wednesday.
I tell all my customers this is your scheduled day. Take it or leave it. You don't like that day of the week? Too bad. My schedule's full.
Yeah. Well, we started cutting it Wednesdays. He didn't say a single thing about it, man. So this year,
most of my customers, they want everything done on Friday.
Yeah, me too.
Well, and I'm like, too bad.
So I was nervous. That's one thing I was nervous about growing the business and getting more lawns because everybody wants it Thursday or Fridays. But actually, it worked really well. So on Tuesdays, I do that really big 31 commercial unit we got. So we do that Thursdays or Tuesdays. Wednesdays, I do all day every other week. So we try to split every other week up so that we've got like half of them one week and the other half the next week, so that we're not, got 1 week where we do lawns on Wednesday, then the next week we do nothing. So we got it split up pretty good where we got it split up that way. So we've got 1 week where we do the lake on 1 week, then the next week we do the route around balls. So we've got 2 every other week routes, which match up pretty good. Then the other lawns that we have that are actually weekly all stay together on that day. So I've actually got pretty good. So now we've got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we cut, which is pretty good because I was, like I said, I was nervous about town customers when we were cutting Tuesday or Wednesday, right? But then I also do a couple of my commercials on say the Tuesday or Wednesday as well, so it doesn't really matter. So it's been working out well for us last year. But it's just if you get any new customers, I have to say it's going to be either on a Monday or Tuesday this year because I'm at a point where we're going to have to start a Monday cutting day up now. So
my Monday schedule is fully booked. I do like 8 properties. Four of them are 1.5. One's a 2.5 acre. So I have 3 houses side by side that are 3 acre, or yeah, they're all acreage properties. So the guy, he talks me down from the start $10 from my starting price, and I told him that doesn't include trimming because he's got like 500 freaking trees. So then he bitched about my price. So I told him, you're only paying me $140 a week. You don't like that price? Call somebody else right now. I said, you're lucky I'm even getting out the trimmer for your property.
How long does it take you to do that one?
Well, there's 3 of them side by side.
Okay.
It takes me about 4 hours.
That's not bad.
Yeah. I think the other one's it's probably pushing almost 2 acres, like 1.75 acres.
Wow.
And then the other guy, he's got he's got like over 2 acres, just over 2 acres.
Wow. Nice. That's like this one guy.
I drive 10 minutes up the road and I do this other guy's property and I'm charging him $125 a week. And it only takes me like an hour, barely an hour.
Wow. Nice.
And he pays me for the whole season right off the hop. He doesn't care. He just wants to get it over and done with.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm going to take on the middle one next year because he tends to complain too much. Oh, there's grass clippings here. There's grass clippings in the mulch. There's grass clippings here. Oh, you didn't blow out the driveway good enough. You didn't do this good enough.
Some people are just never happy. I picked up this guy 2 years ago. It's a huge property. I don't even know how many acres it is. It's a pretty big property. It takes 4 of us about an hour to cut it. Well, once it slows down, about 45 minutes. But he's pretty picky. But I went in there. I quoted him $300 to cut this property because that's what it should be at, $300. He talked me down to like $200. He said that the guy was only due for $140. Like, there's no freaking way he's cutting it for $140, man. There's no way. And it's a property pretty far from my place. So we So last year I ended up putting up, I think, $25 or $35. This year I'm jacking it up. He didn't say a single thing. So I'm trying to get back up to that $300 price tag to where it should be because he's
Well,
got lots of trimming to
I'm
do.
gonna up this year. I'm gonna up my prices for the guy that because I haven't upped his price in 2 years now. He's 2.2 acres. I'm charging him $300 a week.
Oh, wow.
So I was gonna up it to like 320 or 325 this year, and then up those other two prices maybe a couple hundred. Like have it so they're like at least $200 a piece, maybe even more, depending on how much trimming he wants me to do.
So I love the bigger properties. Some people are like, well, I like smaller properties, but I love the bigger properties only because they're a higher ticket price and you don't have to drive around so many places. So if you get a couple of those high ticket prices, you know, do 3 or 4 days at $300, that's some pretty good cash right there, right? Like it's pretty good to do that. So I like the bigger acreage. The only thing I hate about doing them is when you sit on the mower, you're like, oh my gosh, it's like an hour and I'm still on the mower. I hate that sometimes, but
yeah, I'm sitting on the mower for at least 2.5 hours of the out of the time that I'm there, and then the rest of the time is the other 2 hours is blowing and trimming everything.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's why I was thinking maybe get a helper just to help me just do that schedule, just to help me out on Mondays, just to do that one. Because then I do 2 properties around the corner from the house here, and they're side by side. They take me like 20 minutes a piece.
Okay.
And I can just use I can just ride on the 36 and go and do them.
Nice.
One of them doesn't even grow half the time. It's all weeds, and they don't even care.
Nice.
Yeah, so I charge them for the whole season, and then the other neighbor's like, well, you charge me for the whole season. How come you're not coming here every week or whatever? Like, since we had so much rain, there were some times where I couldn't even get on the property because it was too wet.
Yeah.
Well, can you just push mow it this one time? I'm like, no.
See, I've had people do that to me too. Can you push more this? I'm like, no, man. Like, I don't know. It's crazy. Like, some of the requests that people want. But I'm like,
and there's another property that I have to push mow it because I can't put any big mowers on it because it's so saturated because they overwater.
Oh, I've got a couple. We've got a couple like that. They just water and water and water, and it's so long. Like it needs to be cut twice a week.
Yeah, and I didn't get to it near the end of the season, so it was probably around 8 inches probably before the snow hit. And they didn't even call me. They didn't email me. Nothing. If they I got sick near the end of the season, so that's all I'm gonna tell them. Like, sorry, I'm a one-man band.
Yeah.
If I have to bag it in the spring, I'll bag it in the spring. Like, or I'll just run it over 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, I'm cutting it at like 3.5, 4 inches every week.
Wow.
Like it would be perfect probably for a walker.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, like, so that property that we do that, the guy overwaters it. Like, it's so green. Like, even in the drought, it's friggin' like green and growing. And like when you walk on it, it's like slop, slop, slop.
Yeah, it's like this one.
What it is. Yeah. I'm like, why? Why do you need that much water on it? I don't understand why when you have that kind of money, why you need to have your lawn so wet and green all the time. It blows my mind. And it's so thick that you're like, yeah.
That's like the 2.5-acre property, or this 2-acre property. This guy waters it so much. Like not last year, the year before, I was cutting it around I was cutting it at 3 inches.
Yep.
Like when I was that's the property I demoed the 2 walkers on. I stalled out the B27i.
Really?
That's how thick and luscious this guy's lawn is.
Wow.
And he's got a company coming in and fertilizing at least two times a month, maybe 2 times a month. I don't even know.
Oh.
And they spray all the weeds. Like, this is a new development, so this is like pretty fresh sod. Like,
Yeah.
so she grows a lot.
Wow.
And in 7 days, in some spots, it's probably over a foot. So last year I just said, okay, you don't want to stop watering? Fine. Then I just cut it higher.
Yeah. It's people like that always tell me they want it to be cut lower. I'm like, I had this one customer who kept on telling me, like, as soon as June hit, like May, as soon as June hit, we'll cut it every other week and cut it shorter. So I tried it. I could cut it if I went more down. We were there for even longer. So I just kept it the same level. He said, you put it down. I'm like, yeah, I put it down. I never did.
Yeah.
I can't, man. Like, you're crazy. Like, it's just killing the mower. So I actually ended up putting that guy's price up way more. And he ended up buying a lot more. So, like, good on you. I hated cutting the property. I so underquoted that. And he added even more lawn to it. So, I mean, yeah, I'm like, screw that. I'm like, I'm done with that. It's just, I don't know.
Well, in late August, early September, he's got a embankment that I had to trim going down to his pond because he's got like an 1.5 acre pond there. So I had to trim it because I couldn't put the mower there. I was scared I was going to end up in the water. So I'd have to trim it. So what he did is he ended up having a company come in and put all these armor stones all over it, resodded it. So on the other side of that, it was another 20, 30 feet. I couldn't go across the sod with my zero turn. So he had to get out his lawn tractor and do it himself. Because my Z is too heavy. And I told him, I said, I don't feel like there's no way that I could get there even from a different angle. I said, unless you remove a section of your fence, then I can cut it.
That's funny. Man, my dealer, my walker dealer, they're Ferris dealer as well. They're trying so hard to get me to buy a Ferris. He tells me they're cheaper to buy, they're cheaper to fix, they're faster. I go to him, I can't go any faster than my walker goes. My lots are too bumpy. The walker, I like it because it's very easy for me to flip the deck up and fix. I don't have to jack it up and get underneath the thing. And the Ferris is like another 600-700 pounds heavier than the walker. The walker's like 850 pounds. The Ferris was like 1,500 pounds. I'm like, well, my walkers are already pretty heavy on some of the lots. So I put a Ferris on there, we definitely get this thing stuck even more. I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, my big deer is 930 is 1,300 pounds.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I had to call it tow truck because I got it so buried in the mud on this guy's lawn.
Do you ever take two mowers with you on the trailer?
Yeah, I do, but the 36 wasn't heavy enough to pull it out. It was so buried. It was buried all the way up to the axle. And nothing could pull it out. Like, we had 2 straps on it with his ATV and my 36. She wasn't coming.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Had to pay this guy $500, and then I had to argue with him that he wanted to put his tow truck on the customer's lawn. I said, go ahead. I don't give a shit. You do what you got to do to get my mower out.
Yeah. I've been alone a few times where I'm like, okay, I've been over this before. I know I can go over it, but I know it's really wet. I know if I go over it, it's going to get stuck. Guess what happens? I get stuck by myself. I cannot get out. I'm finding boards on customers' property, spinning under their tires, getting another walker trying to pull me out. And I think I've only had to call once or twice to get somebody to come and help me pull it out. But usually I can get it out. But it's just like, it's so deep in the big mud ruts. I'm like trying to kick it back in, make it look good again. It's just like, I don't know. I've done some stuff where I know I shouldn't go there, but I do it. And it's like this spring.
This property was like probably 2 kilometers off the road, so you had to mow all the way up the driveway on both sides, and it's like a 45-degree slope. And then he's got like I dropped him He's got a big garden that was hiding his propane tank, and then there was 2 crabapple trees. So when the mower went and grabbed the crab apples, it just slid right down the hill. I was like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me!" But I just kept making circles around, and it was like late September, early October.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it out.
Oh man.
If I had a winch on my truck, maybe.
Yeah.
But
I've had a couple customers where they've got the apple trees, man, and in this fall time, you start falling. Usually I can get to them, but this one time I got stuck on them. Could not get through. I had my boy to push me off the apples because they just got all mushy. They just spin, man. Just like spin.
yeah.
Nice. Man. The fun things that happen when you're mowing that you never think would happen. Oh.
I know, eh? And then this guy called me last year. I think it was the Labor Day weekend when it was like stupid hot. He wanted me to go clean his parents' place before they got back from Portugal or Italy or something. So I go there and I clean it all up, and then he's nitpicking that I'm not trimming the crabgrass in the sidewalk. The house was for sale. That's why he wanted me to go clean it. He wanted me to edge everything. I go, you want me to edge everything? I can go back and edge everything. No problem. I go, but it's going to be, a little bit more money than you paying me the $80 that you paid me. I said, you need to put $100 extra just for me to edge everything. Yeah. The grass was so. I filled 6 yard waste bags. That's how I go. There's no way that this property's been mowed in like at least a month.
Yeah.
And it was all weeds and everything, and it looked like shit. And he basically wanted me to like trim and pull everything out of the gardens and do a cleanup. And I said no. I said I'm going to clean the grass and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, I know it's a holiday, but my parents are coming back tomorrow. If you could go there and do it for me, then I'll pay you right away. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
I had a guy do that to me this summer, man. He got there, and I guess the neighbor called on him because I guess it's supposed to be your rental place, but they haven't been there in 2 years. The grass was super long. I guess they do this every summer. So I looked at the backyard. It was awesome. I'm like, I can't get more back there. It's gonna be all push more, like all weed eater. It was literally like up to my freaking chest or even my shoulders, right? So I call a guy back. I said, it's gonna be $100, but I need to be paid first. He's like, oh, that's a lot of money. But he's like, how much just do the front yard? So I told him, I forgot how much it was, but I said, you got to pay me first before I do it. He sent me the transfer right away, and I went back and I did it. And the thing was, I had my employees out with all my mowers, so I didn't have any mowers. The only mower I had was like Greenworks electrical one that they sent me for free. So I was out there hand pushing with this mower, and cut it down, like no problem. It worked awesome. I used that, the battery powered one, had no problem cutting it down, looked pretty good. And he emailed him after it was done. He's like, thanks, but like, yeah, the neighbor called him. I don't think he ever went to the backyard, but the backyard was like, I was like, I don't know how to start this. Like, I don't know where to start to tackle that because it was a nightmare. It would take me 2 hours just to cut the backyard. That to make it even look good. Like the deck was all rotting, and it was sketchy, man. It was so sketchy.
Yeah, that was like this real estate guy kept bugging me to go clean these stupid properties, and there was one time the neighbors were like, I'm like, there's a bunch of, I call him and I go, I don't poop and scoop, right? I go, it's $25 per poop. And he's like, what are you talking about? I go, there's a family of raccoons apparently that are living underneath the deck. So there's raccoon shit everywhere, all over the backyard. Oh. And the grass was like knee high. But you could see where they were just using one little area that they chewed all the grass out, and they were using that as a facility. I said, I'll clean it, but I want more money.
Yeah.
He paid me, and then the house sold. And every time I drive by there, because they're like right around the corner from my mother-in-law, the grass is always at least 8 inches tall on the front. So I could just imagine what the backyard looks like.
Yeah.
Like everybody on the street takes care of their lawn except for these people.
That's strange. We had a call not last year, I think the year before. This guy's like, yeah, I give him a long cut. I go there, it hasn't been cut yet for the season, right? So I'm like, I gave him a price. He's like, he's trying to haggle me over. I was like, no, this is the price. So I went and did it. And then my guy was with me, and he was trimming. And there's a bag of dog crap, like right at that corner of the building. Got all over my guy. He was so angry, man. He's running around like so angry. So I called the guy up, and I've never done this before. I called and said, listen, there's a pile of dog or a bag of dog crap on your lawn. It's all over my guy. He's not happy. I need some extra money for this. He's like, we don't have a dog. That's impossible. How it could be there? I took a photo, sent it to him, and he swore he didn't have a dog. I'm like, well, there's a dog bag of poo there. And my guy's angry. He's like, I need extra $50 for that. So, well, I'm like, I don't care, man. My guy's not happy. I'm going to give it to the guy. He actually sent it to me. I was so surprised he actually sent it to me. So, I mean, I gave to my guy the money because he's the one who got covered dog crap. But I'm like, I've never had that. I've never actually stood up to my guys and be that angry to a customer. But my thing this year, I got burned last year again. Like my guys, bro, it's asked me to cut the line. Like, sure, total price. So I went to get the money. He's like, oh, come back into the week. I didn't go back. He said I didn't have time. I sent him invoices. He still hasn't paid me, so he owes me for 2 cuts. So what I'm going to try and implement this year is if my guys are on the job and someone asks me to cut the lawn right then and there, you pay me cash right now before the job is done. Because I've been burned too many times by people not paying us, right? So I'm just going to say, no, guys, if you want to do it, Amanda, they need to pay you cash it in hand before you start the lawn. Because I'm not going to send an invoice because I rarely get paid for jobs like that, which is angry. So
Yeah, that was like this other guy. He knew his scheduled day was Wednesday. So I would go there on Wednesday morning at like probably about 9 o'clock. And I'd open the backyard. I would trim. And you'd see like 25 piles of freaking dog crap. So I send them a text. Oh, guess you guys forgot to pick up the dog poo again. And there's already dog poo in the corner where I left it from last week. I told him, I said, I'm cutting the front. You transfer me this much money and find somebody else to do your lawn. I'm done. I said, or it's going to be, $180 a week to cut your grass and pick up your dog poo because I go, obviously you're too lazy to do it. He didn't like when I said that. I don't care. You hired me to do your lawn. I'm coming every week at a Pacific day. I go, I told you at the beginning, your day is Wednesday. You don't like it? He goes, well, can we move it to Thursday? And I'm like, no.
He's coming at dog crap on Thursday. I said, it's not going to change.
I said, what's the difference if it's moved a day here, a day there? I said, it's not going to get picked up regardless. So
no. So Tom, from Wolf Lawn Care, man, he in the springtime he does pet waste removal. I should do this because he makes a killing doing it, but like I don't like dogs. I'm not gonna go pick somebody else's dog crap. But he makes like $3,000 or $4,000 in 2 days of do dog waste removal. I'm like, are you kidding me? It almost motivates me to want to go do it for that kind of money, but I'm like, I can't do it. I think it's nasty. I don't have a dog. I don't want to pick somebody else's dog crap up. Like, do it yourself, man. But,
yeah, like for the customers that I know they don't have dogs, I'll pick it up because I don't want to step in it. And if I see somebody like where I park my truck and trailer on this guy's property, they always poop right at the freaking enclosed door where I'm walking. So I have a shovel that's hanging on the wall right there. So I'll pick it up and I'll put it in the yard waste bag and then just throw all the clippings on top of it.
Yeah.
And then I take, like, if I catch them in the act doing it, I always say something like, you going to pick that up? Sometimes they'll even poop on the guy's driveway. Like, the lawn guy will get it. Well, no.
No. That's what everybody thinks, right? I don't know why. Like, I never say anything about it. I think I've always said that about that one time, but most of my customers don't have dogs that do that. The one customer, I have seen them out there picking the dog crap up when we're there, which is nice. It's great to see that. But, I mean, for the most part, there's not too many people that we've run over dog crap on, but it's very rare that happens. If it does, it's just like one time, it's like whatever. But still, when it gets caught in your wheel, you're driving around, you smell it. It's just,
Imagine it. Imagine in a black enclosed trailer. It's even worse.
Oh, gosh.
I've even grabbed customers' hose and the wife will come out and start yelling at me because I'm washing off my mower. I'm like, well, you didn't pick up your dog shit, so. I'm not putting my mower back in there. I'm gonna wash it off. I even have a customer. Yeah. He forgot to pick it up one time, and I kind of bitched at him about it, and he washed my mower for me.
Oh wow! Nice. Yeah, I know. It's not very often that it happens, but it does happen every now and then. So, I'm like.
Yeah, a lot of my customers, they do have dogs, but most of them are pretty good, but there's the odd one that's not. And there's some customers that don't even have dogs, and I'm not going to make it their problem. Yeah. Like I had this Indian guy, he's like 10 minutes up the road from me, and he thought it was natural fertilizer. I said, no, it's not. So he hired me twice last year, the year before to do his lawn because he doesn't have a trimmer and he's not good with a trimmer. So he's got this is a nice subdivision, like it's up the street from the equestrian school, and there's he's got like nice decorative rocks with his address on it. You couldn't see them because the grass was like 2 feet tall because he doesn't know how to trim.
Oh, wow.
So he wanted me to come trim edge and do everything. So he hired me a couple of times, and then it was like near the end of the season. He's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I don't want to bother you to come out and do it." But I like the way you cut. He likes the way the mower stripes and everything.
Yeah.
So I messaged him at the beginning of last year, and he's like, "No, I'm gonna do it myself. You're too high in price."
Well, he'll call you back at some point, probably. I don't know. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I don't know.
I think he just ended up doing it himself. I don't care.
Yeah. That's funny. We picked up this new guy last year, and unfortunately we have to hand push it all because there's nowhere to get the rider out. He's got like stuff on his driveway, like the rocks and stuff, so we can't get a thing on there. I mean, he's got this deer that lights up in the middle of his lawn, and I didn't realize there was an extension cord on it. There's a green extension cord. His lawn was kind of super long, thick. So the guys didn't see the extension cord because it's a green extension cord in green grass. So we ended up cutting that. I'm like, why? So I ended up paying for it. I paid for the price to get a new one, but he still puts it right back in there. I'm like, the next time he came out there after he bought the new one, he was out there running and moving all the stuff off the lawn for us. Like, thank you, buddy. Because who puts a green freaking extension cord on the freaking green grass where we can't see it?
Yeah, that's stupid. Why wouldn't you have like orange or yellow or something, right?
Yeah, that's what we said. Why would you have something you could see? But anyways, it's
no. I think like for like a birthday, how people put those big birthday signs and or whatever. Halloween time, I just tell my customer, I'm not mowing your lawn because I'm not going to be held responsible for damaging something of yours. I said if you want to put it up, I said if you want to put it up and then take it off on your scheduled day, your day is Monday. You want to come take it off, that's fine. Like I've even had customers like I won't move trampolines.
No, I used to, but I don't now. Like no way, because I've heard people, especially like people in the States, to say if you move it and they jump on it, they can sue you. I'm like, and then half the time they try and move it, they fall apart. So I'm like, I can't be bothered with that anymore because then now you're trying to put it back together and then no. So some customers
they can try and sue you, but here in Canada, what my customer told me is it should fall under their liability, not your liability insurance. It should fall under their homeowners. Stuff.
Yeah, I don't move either. I don't care. But the grass will grow for 3 or 4 weeks underneath there. The customer will move it. We'll cut that part there. Then we'll cut that for a couple of weeks, and they'll move to the cage. So I'm fine with that. But I'm not moving it. I can't be bothered.
No, like if they're not like like if he texts me and tells me, "Hey, bud, we're not home. Sorry, I left the hockey nets on the grass." He knows I'm gonna move them because I'm not gonna leave them there and try and go around them.
Yeah.
Like at least he's a little decent about that, and like he paid me $3,200 or $3,500 for the season. So obviously I'm gonna bend over backwards.
Yeah.
To keep this customer happy.
Yeah.
And like, oh, we're at the cottage. I know that I think we left the hockey nets on the grass, or we left the ball there, or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm okay with that as long as they message you and tell you I'm great. It's when they don't message you and then it's like, what the heck, man? Like, it's just I don't know.
If it's a hockey net, if it's just the two hockey nets, like they don't weigh nothing, I'll move them just to cut the lawn and put them on the patio, and then he can deal with the trampoline. I would just text him and tell him, hey, I didn't move the trampoline this time. If you're home next week, can you move it to its regular? Because he's got like field those flagstone things where the trampolines usually goes.
Yeah.
But sometimes they move it just to have a bonfire or whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, which is fine. I don't care. But
nice.
it just I just don't like the look of the lawn when everything else is nice and cut and hit that one spot that's 25 feet in diameter.
Yeah. I just gotta say, so the guy that's came on Finding Fish, his name's Mike. He's actually from Peterborough. He's got his awesome travel channel. I've been following for quite a while now. He's actually in Bangkok right now. He usually goes to Cuba and does a bunch of Cuba videos. So he's got some awesome videos. So if you like Cuba, go watch his videos. But he's it's true, Mike. I mean, you got some good videos, man. I like watching them. I actually started a travel channel out myself for another YouTube channel. It's pretty crappy right now because I found all my old videos from over the years, just post them would have, but now we were just in Cuba last month, so I started trying to make some better videos. So I'm gonna have hopefully some Cuba videos coming out pretty soon, and then hopefully start a travel channel up. It's not gonna be that great because you don't travel that much, but when we go down to the States in March, I'm gonna try and do some travel videos of the great vlogs and stuff. Yeah. So
yeah, that's like Doug from what's his channel?
Eden.
Yeah, he's got another one, windshield channel with that's their travel channel. It's pretty cool.
Okay, nice. Man, I was trying to come up with a freaking name for a travel channel. I cannot think of something, so it's called Gone Traveling. Actually, it's Gone Traveling 4 because Gone Traveling was already made up. So I said 4 for my family because we're family 4. So that's why I have it like that. Gone Traveling 4. So, but it's like my wife doesn't really like being on YouTube. She doesn't like showing her life. So I'm not gonna have her on there as much, but I'll have her a couple of times here, maybe the kids once in a while. But yeah, I just thought I wanted to use travel channel for a while, but just I don't travel enough to have enough content. So when I was in Cuba, I was trying to make as many videos as I could, but it was hard to make the videos because I got the family around, trying to take off to do videos and not, get away from the family to do it. So I just need to be like Mike, just take off all the time. Like Mike's basically full-time traveler, man. It's crazy. He gets all these crazy deals down to Cuba, like really cheap deals. It's insane. So yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. My phone's at 1% now.
Oh, nice. I was actually going to jump off in a minute because my wife and kids are at karate right now, and they'll be home soon, so I can't stay on too much longer.
We're in the process of making dinner. My wife just got home too.
Nice. Sweet. Well, it was good talking to you, man. It's been been a while since I talked to you.
Yeah. I'm still on the fence about getting a walker. I want one,
man. You want one. Just get it, man. Just sell all your motors and just get that walker.
Nah, I like my deer. I was thinking of selling the 36, so I'm not using it as much now.
So I was talking to Ed Wright at the Landscape Ontario show because he was there, and then because they got that autonomous mower, and I know Cameron from Long Term, Missouri, so I was talking to him down in at the GIE in Kentucky in October. And it's crazy, man. He just sets the fence up, pushes the button, and it goes and mows it for him. He's mower. He's out there trimming his lawn. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's going to be the new technology right there.
It is, yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah. They're really pushing the autonomous stuff, especially at the GIE, man. Everybody's got a autonomous mower now, it seems. So.
Yeah, I see some people with like the little small Stihl one around.
Yeah.
On like the little posted side stamp lots here in town, and there's another guy where I go to turn around. He's got a Husqvarna one that goes and does everything.
Nice. I was actually looking at the Husqvarna ones at the Landscape Ontario. They're nice, but the one I think is like $300-400.
Yeah,
and I think
it's a small one.
And I think
it's not even that big. It's like what, 15 inch or something?
Something like that, yeah. And I think it only does like a quarter of an acre, if that, on one charge. So
that's stupid.
Yeah.
So imagine if you had like over an acre property. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Well, that was my wonder. Like, so if you're out there and it's cutting it, and then it runs out of battery, so it goes back to this thing to charge up, will it come back to the same spot where it left off and finish off, or will it like go back over with stuff?
I'm assuming that it all depends on the software and the way it's programmed. I would assume that it would, or maybe it's just gonna. Yeah, you would think that it would take from the same spot where it died, or think that it stop cutting and go back, but they would probably just start all over again.
Yeah. I don't know. It'd be interesting to try and get a company to send me one out and try and see what happens. But
Mike from Bush Green, we were looking at those zero turn Greenworks ones. They're because Deere here will sell them.
Okay.
I think
actually
60. I think their biggest one is a 54. Yeah.
Yeah. They've got the Optimus. I can't say Optimus Z. I think it is. Where is it? They got a couple of different ones. They like 8 hours on 8 hours it can go. This one right here. I think that's like their best one there.
Yeah, we were looking at one of those. I think new. They're equivalent to a brand new zero turn. Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah. The only problem with those ones, you gotta have the whole battery bag to recharge them and switch them out and all that. So I really, really want to try as electric zero turn, but I'm just there. So what they say, so it said 8 hour runtime. So you have to think about it. You probably won't get 8 hours out of your mower per day because you're not on the mower for 8 hours a day. You're only on it for a couple, hours here and there. You might be here on it for like maybe 20 minutes at one property, then 20 minutes on another property. Unless you're doing the big acres like you, then you will have it going for those 2 or 3 hours nonstop, right? So that's my only concern is how long it's actually going to last. Saying that, we have been running that Toro 60-volt one. My guys love that. They use that over the gas Toro any day. And we've only got 2 batteries for it, and there's only been 1 day last year that they used both batteries up. And other than that, they rarely use both batteries because you don't use to push more that much. So you just have to kind of work out what you're going to use it for and how long you think you're going to be running it for, right?
It also depends on how long the grass is, how thick it is. It's all going to take a toll on like some guys that water more, that their grasses are going to be thicker, so it's going to drain more battery and more effort on the mower there.
Yeah. I really want to try one just to see the difference. And a lot of guys are against it because honestly, I like the battery power stuff, but you know what? They really aren't that green because when you think about it, like it's still a lithium battery, so they're really not that green. They're still using all this energy to make them and destroy the environment just as much. So, but saying that, I mean, they are, like California, I think is pushing now. I think they got a lot now. We can't buy any more gas powered equipment. It's got to be the battery powered stuff. But once everybody starts going to battery powered and they all have to charge their stuff together, the grid's going to go down. So how do you charge your stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
my buddy, one of my buddies, he sent me a thing you know how Tesla's all hyped up about you can drive from Toronto to Ottawa or whatever. Well, they did it in the wintertime, and they only made it halfway there, and half the charging stations weren't even working.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
and the charging stations, it's funny because if you look at some of them, they're actually got a diesel generator beside them to charge the freaking car.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense.
No,
So
it's crazy.
Yeah, I was gung-ho for the electric car and Teslas and that, but then once my wife started explaining it to me, I kind of understand now that I like them, but they're not really that green because all the stuff it takes to get the battery, the lithium for the batteries, and then the charging stations, if they're not actually like electric charging stations, if they're gas-powered charging stations, well, you're still using gas to charge your car, right? So
I just want to go to the pump, push the button, and pump in fuel to whatever vehicle I have and just drive.
Just go. Yeah. Well, and I've seen videos where people are lined up to get the Teslas charged, and they're waiting hours to get charged up. And it's like, well, that's not very convenient. That's like, you may be saving the earth, but now you're waiting an hour to charge your car. So.
Yeah. I bought the Echo 56 volt trimmer just to try it out. It works good on about 10 small properties, like postage size stamp lots, but then then I kill one 5 amp hour battery, and then to buy another 5 amp hour battery, that's another $300 and something from the dealer.
Yeah. So like the Greener sent me a trimmer too, right? Like a line trimmer. I like it, but they only take the 2 amp battery, so they don't last that long. And every time you touch the head, it bumps really fast. So I went through so much line on it. Like it was very sensitive to bump feeder, right? So it's constantly spinning line out. But it's got a lot of power to it. Like it's got some good power to it, which I like. But it's not for what we're doing. It wouldn't last because it would use all our lineup on us, and we would need like a couple batteries. Like the 5 amp battery, I think it's like $299 for the 5 amp battery. And the other thing is, so the stuff they sent me is just the Pro version. It's not the actual commercial. So the commercial stuff is actually 82 volts. So I would like to try the 82 volt, the real commercial stuff, not just the prosumer stuff, and see how it compares.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, maybe if you could demo a sit down mower, then you could compare it and see how long see if it lasts that long, but I doubt it.
Yeah. Well, if I was to demo one of the battery ones, I just demo it at the park. I wouldn't take it out to my park, so I'd probably just demo it here and just try it around the park and see how it works around the park before I actually take it out to customers' places.
Yeah. I guess because you don't want to be on a customer's property and be halfway through it and then the battery die or whatever.
Yeah. That's what I was a bit worried, but they explained to me that it's got a battery indicator on it, so you know when your battery's going to die. So as long as you know how much power you got to get back to your truck, you should be fine, right? But it's still an inconvenience if you still got more runs and you don't have extra batteries on you.
Yeah, because at least with fuel, you got fuel in the back of your truck or in your trailer. You can go back when you know that, you look down, I'm at like quarter of a tank, I better go fill up. You go and you go and fill up. It's not like you got a generator in the back of your truck to plug into this mower to charge it. And it probably takes like 8 hours for a full charge. So
there's a guy on YouTube who's strictly electric, man, and his whole trailer is just set up with all the battery banks and all that stuff.
There's one guy, I think he's in Australia. He does like he just got a little dinky push mower, and he just does these little rinky dink, like 1/8 of an acre properties.
Wow.
And that's all he has is all Greenworks, like the backpack blower and all the, and he seems to make out okay. And he's got I think he's out of a van too. So.
Oh, wow. See, it's different. Like in the city, I think it might work. He's got a lot of smaller properties, but for us in these big country properties, it's a different game, right? So.
Yeah. I don't think it would. I don't think it would work for me.
Yeah, I don't think it would work for me either. It might work if we had one battery powered and one gas one. I would try that combination at first just to see how it goes. But I wouldn't jump into 2 battery motors right away. That would make me nervous.
No, because then you could end up being up shit creek without a paddle.
Yeah.
If both motors go down and they're stuck halfway through the lawn.
Yeah.
Especially springtime here, how thick the grass really is. I bet you probably only get like 4 hours out of one of those mowers.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot more straight on them too, right? So it's
Well, there's no belt.
to
From what I've seen, there's no belt for the deck. It uses actual motors for the
okay. Okay.
From what I've seen, even on like the Toro grandstands and stuff like that.
Yeah. See, when I go to these shows, I plan to look at the equipment and try and look at them really well, but I never do. I never actually inspect them all that well and see what they're really like. But then I feel like every time I go to these shows, the guys are looking at you and it's like, they come and start talking to you and they just, I don't know, I just don't know the right questions to ask, I guess, either. So. Anyways, I better jump off because they're going to be home in a couple of minutes and, yeah.
Yeah. We're just about to sit down for dinner.
Sweet. Okay. Well, it's good talking to you, man, and I hope you have a killer season at that firewood.
Yeah. We'll talk.
Yeah. Sounds
All
good.
right.
All right.
See you,
Justin.
Yeah.